In today's video, I am going to be breaking down 3 different ways that you can use a screen just by reading how the defense is playing you. Now, this is an older video from last year and when David was a bit younger, but this all happened in the same game, and I've always been meaning to do a complete breakdown of this same video, so finally I'm getting to it. So let's get down and let's check out how you can use a using a screen by reading how the defense is playing you. Let's get down, let's check it out really quickly. If you want to shoot the basketball better, make sure to check out the shooting workout that is down in the description below. Okay, so in this first clip, what we see is Andrew coming up, setting a screen for David, and David is using that screen. Very simple stuff at this point. However, that man tries to go over top of David. David was able to seal that man on Andrew by doing one simple thing, and that was brushing roughly his shoulder on Andrew's shoulder, or side of body in this case. This is what allowed David to get that open lane to the basket. Now, when this happens, anytime your man goes over top of that screen, you need to attack the basket because now this man is on your back, which means that there is nobody in front of you to be able to attack the basket. Andrew's defender was not hedging to be able to cut that drive off, so that allowed for that open lane. When David did attack that open lane, it was too late. Andrew's man who was behind him was too late to go and hedge, and that allowed that defender to get stuck behind, or David's defender to get stuck behind him. At this time when David was attacking the rim, we can see that there were other help defenders who were coming down to be able to try and stop David from being able to attack that rim. However, David was able to keep that ball high above his waist, actually most of the time above his shoulders, which allowed for those 2 steps for that ball to be away from these help side defenders. And this guy was quite a bit taller than David. Back when this video was made, David was only maybe around 5'6", that 5'7" in that range. This guy was well over 6 feet tall, and David was able to get his body between the ball and that help defender, which allowed him to be able to get that layup off. Now, another way that you can use a screen is by denying the screen. So, for example, if this guy's momentum was going faster than yourself, or he was trying to go over top of the screen before you did, you need to deny the screen. And by denying the screen, what you're essentially doing, if we go back, if we put this in regular speed, he quickly changes directions before this man was even able to keep up. This allowed for that wide open lane to the basket, and this is what allowed David to score in this situation. So by denying the screen here, he took 2 dribbles, and then after he took 2 dribbles, he changed directions because the help side was coming to try and cut off his drive. Because David is an agile player, and if you want to be a great slasher, somebody who can get to the rim easily, you need to be able to work on your ability to change directions. By being able to change directions quick, you can do stuff like this, where he takes 1 more dribble on that left side. He's created a new angle to attack the net, and this allowed him to then take 2 dribbles and score on 2 players. 2 steps. So by taking those 2 steps after that last dribble, anytime you want to take your initial attack on the rim, you don't want to dribble. It's going to slow you down. Players are going to be able to steal the ball. As soon as you find that last angle, that last path to the basket, you need to take 2 big steps and keep the ball high. And that's exactly what David was able to do right here. So as soon as he got that last angle right here, we can see that he kept that ball above his waist, and then he was able to go with his right hand on the left side. In this situation, that was actually a fantastic move, because if he was to go up with his left hand, this defender could have potentially blocked the shot. So by using his right hand, keeping his body between the defense and the ball, this is what allowed him to be able to get that shot off. That's why I always say to players, you need to know how to use both your left and right hand when finishing at the rim, because you never know which situation you're going to be put into in game. And yes, he did make the basket as well. Now in this next play, we have Darius who's setting a screen for David, and then what we do see here is that that man goes underneath that screen. Whenever a player goes underneath that screen, it creates a big gap, a big distance between yourself and the defender. If you can get your shot up fast enough, you can get a wide open 3-point shot. So it's not just about being a great shooter. It's about being able to shoot in rhythm, but quickly. You don't want to be sitting there and at the 3-point line pick up the ball and be like, okay, I need to turn my body this way, get my elbow up and do all this weird stuff and go up. You want to just have a quick gather, straight up, straight release, all one motion, and that's what's going to allow you to have a much greater chance of hitting more threes. It's going to give you more distance because it's all one motion, but it's going to be able to help you get shots off when players are closing out on you. So for example here, this man goes underneath that screen. He's closing out still, but because there was such a massive gap between himself and David, because he went underneath that screen, and David is a pretty solid 3-point shooter even back a year ago when this was recorded, it allows for a lot of different opportunities for that scorer. So to go really slowly, this man goes underneath that screen. That's created this much distance. That's roughly around maybe 6 feet, maybe 8 feet. And David was able to go up for that shot. Nice straight, high release, one hand, no thumb flick, and he was able to hit that swish. This is how you can use a screen. If you are using a screen and the man goes over top of the screen following you, you need to attack the basket. If a man is trying to cheat to try to cut off your ability to use the screen, you need to cut back and attack the rim. And then, if the man goes underneath the screen, you can pop for a shot. I really loved this video because, and I have it pinned on TikTok, all of that, because it shows you how to use a screen, all 3 different ways a defender is going to try and defend the screen. This team, we just ran for the whole second half screens for David because they didn't have a response to be able to stop it because he's so smart and so quick at seeing what the defense is doing. He was able to carve them up all game and get well over 20 points against a team that's a year older and well over a foot taller in most cases. So I hope that this video helps you be able to extend or create more scoring opportunities for yourself so that you can get more points in game. If it does, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.